Hey guys, so this is finally going to be our 1 month update. We are very late in doing this for a huge number of reasons, and obviously I'll kind of explain a little bit in this video with some things, but also on top of obviously the information I'm going to give you about Ruben and me and things that have been happening that wise. Our home life hasn't been great, and it's sort of put me off obviously doing things for a long while, and I just needed to take a step back and just focus on the kids and myself for a little while. This little monkey's having a kick around on the mat next to me. So you're very distracted, yes. So I'll start from the beginning. If you didn't know, Ruben, that's his name. He's called Ruben Jace. He was born on the 13th of December at 8:19 p.m. in the afternoon, and he was weighing 8 pounds. You can obviously go see my labour and delivery story and labour and delivery vlog thing. So if you haven't already seen them, you know, a lot of information from that, you know, will be helpful. I suppose the first thing I've kind of got to address, which I must admit I'm probably going to find a little bit hard to talk about. I've been fairly emotional about it, so it's been a bit hard to talk about it properly. But is feeding. As most of you know, if you watch my updates and stuff, I had planned on breastfeeding, and I did initially. I started breastfeeding him like straight away in the hospital, but straight away he was pretty lazy. Like, he just wouldn't open his mouth properly, and he just wasn't that bothered. And I think it was partly because he was tired, and he just was a bit, you know, that newborn, quite docile, I suppose, whereas Isla wasn't really like that. Though we had problems with her latch, she was very much awake, and she straight away latched on. Like, other than the fact that the latch wasn't good because of her tongue tie, she was still latching on fairly well for a tongue-tied baby. Whereas this little monkey wasn't. He just literally just wasn't interested, and I literally was trying to stimulate him, and I asked for help and everything, and they just kept on saying whilst I was in the hospital, that I was doing everything right and there was nothing they could really do. Straight away my nipples got sore and they started to hurt, and I was putting lanolin on, I was, you know, doing cold compress, hot compress. I was just trying anything to relieve the pain and to make them better and to keep going. I kept going. On, I think, day 3 or 4, postpartum, and we were at home and stuff, and my milk came in, and by this point my boobs were already, like, my nipples were destroyed. They were bleeding, they were so bad, they were so painful, it hurt every time to put him on, and I was dreading it. So we started to get the pump stuff ready, because I wanted to obviously keep, you know, giving him milk and stuff from me. So I tried to express, but our pump wasn't working very well. It was all a palaver with that. And then because my milk came in really hard and fast, like literally overnight, and I got mastitis like straight away, because I couldn't relieve them, because he wasn't latching on properly. He was getting fussy with the fact that they were bleeding, and he was getting blood, and I didn't want him to drink in blood. And I was trying to pump, and that was still making them bleed, and it was like a never-ending cycle, and I just it was horrible. It was literally horrible. Sorry, I said that, I would probably get emotional. But I just struggled so badly, and I didn't expect that. Like, I didn't expect to get mastitis so early. I didn't expect to feel so much pain, and it just, I just felt like I was failing, and I still feel like I did. So it obviously was painful, and I tried getting help. I kept on getting, like, literally had the midwives come out to me pretty much every day, because I was like, look, I need help, I don't understand, like, I've tried my best. And all they were saying is that his latch looked good, and they checked for his tongue tie and stuff, and most of them said they don't think he had a tongue tie, but some of them weren't sure. And I just, it just got to the point where, like, I couldn't feed him on me. It was too painful, and he was getting stressed, so I had to supplement with formula. I carried on pumping and trying to express as much as I could, and I gave them a bit of a break so that my nipples would calm down and they weren't bleeding as much. And I was able to put him back on me and get going with that, but obviously by that point the supply again had basically started slowing down a lot, because he wasn't demanding it. I tried picking it up again, and I was able to I managed to get it going a bit better, I was still doing half and half, so I was doing combo feeding for quite a while. But eventually, just like Isla, he started taking to the bottle more and to the formula more, and he got really upset and angry whenever I tried to put him on me. And with everything else, other things that were going on, it became too much, and I just wasn't able to look after myself enough to be able to look after him and breastfeed him and have enough time to establish breastfeeding again. There was just so much else going on, and I'm more than disappointed. I'm devastated that I haven't been able to, because obviously I love the idea of breastfeeding. I loved breastfeeding that I have done. You know, that bond is amazing. I know you can still have a bond. Yeah. Yeah. I know you can still have an amazing bond, and obviously I do. I just feel guilty, honestly. I feel guilty, and I wish I'd been able to breastfeed for longer. People have said about, you know, me starting it up again, but I feel like I've got to a place where I've got into a better routine with him, with feeding him with the formula, and he's thriving, really. And I can't, you know, deny that he's still doing really well. Yeah. And there's still a lot else going on that means I just don't have the time. I mean, I've hardly had the time to even do these videos. Yeah, when I asked them about, like, you know, tongue tie and stuff, they just said that he had a short tongue, which I was like, surely that means that he's got a tongue tie because it's attached to the bottom, or, but I don't know. And they were saying that he's really strong, but so was Isla. And he was chomping, I mean proper chomping on me a lot of the time. He does on the bottles as well. They kept on giving me reasons as to why it's probably hurting more, but it was never ever a solution, and I just don't feel like I had the support. Like, I did try and ask them if there was anywhere else I could go, but where I live is quite isolated, and I don't drive, so it's like that it's really hard for me to get anywhere, and it was just, like I said, just a nightmare. With his checks in the hospital, everything pretty much was fine. The one thing that we failed with, really, is his hearing test. He failed in the hospital, and then at day 3. But to be honest, the person that came, the midwife that came out to do his hearing at day 3, wasn't all that great, to be honest. She was a bit all over the place, a bit scatty, and I'm not shocked that it failed, because I just don't even know if she did it right, because she didn't seem to know quite what she was doing. Regardless, it did make me worry, on top of everything else, you know, that he might have hearing problems and stuff. We did end up going to the hospital for proper full hearing check, which was a nightmare in itself, because they have to put these little like ear pad things on their ears and then sensors on them, and he hated it, and you're supposed to get them to be quiet, so it took a little while for me to get him settled enough for like them to do the hearing test. But once he did it, it came back clear straight away, so that was like that was a big relief. So moving on to sleeping, initially in the first couple of days he was sleepy like a newborn, like most newborns that I understand, like, because Isla wasn't like that though. She was awake from day dot, but yeah, he was fairly sleepy, and he slept quite well on and off for the first couple of days. And then basically around the time my milk supply hit, he started being awake like all the time through the night, like every hour on the hour, and it's been a battle since then. Even with bottle feeding, like, people say that you go onto formula and they sleep through better, or they sleep better. No, not my babies. It has been a battle, and it's been a battle trying to work out what he likes and what he doesn't. We finally feel like in the last week or two, finally kind of got into a routine a bit better, and I feel like I understand him a bit better. Obviously it's been harder in regards that, you know, I'm having to fit him around Isla and her routine and her nursery and everything like that as well, and getting up in the morning. Whereas with her, obviously I could just spend an indulgent day on her, and if she napped during the day, I can nap during the day, whereas I haven't been able to, obviously, with this one. So yeah, now we're kind of in a routine where he goes to bed between 9:30 and 10, and I go to bed with him. He'll sleep then, like, he'll have a good decent feed just before, then we'll get him changed ready for the night and stuff, and he'll sleep then till about 2-3, does vary sometimes. Then he'll have another decent feed, and we try and keep it dark. I've been keeping it dark in the room because he does like it really dark, and I just have literally, the only light on in the room is from Isla's monitor, and luckily it's just enough for me to be able to see him, enough to feed him and everything like that. Bless you. So yeah, I give him a decent feed, then he tends to go back off and he'll wake up about 5. It really does vary then though, whether he'll definitely go till then, and it has been a battle, but he seems to be getting into that pattern. Have another feed and then hopefully he'll sleep till 7, half 7, and that's when we get up for the day. But to be honest, after the 5 o'clock feed, he tends to like stir on and off quite a bit between then. He does drift back off to sleep now. He didn't initially, and I think that he's getting better at that, a lot better at soothing himself back off to sleep. But I think it's like he's aware that it's starting to become morning, like it starts to get lighter, and I think he starts to stir with that. I'm not sure, but either way, he's definitely doing a lot better, and I know that, like, I'm so grateful for the sleep that he is giving me now, because beforehand it was a nightmare. Yeah. He otherwise during the day he sort of just naps when he wants to, like I did with Isla. I sort of just let her do what she wanted to do the day. It means that he doesn't sleep necessarily for very long. Most of the time if he does sleep, it'll be for about an hour longest. He'll go, otherwise it's like little cat naps really. And obviously every day varies because of what we're doing. Like Isla has nursery every other day, so his routine will be different on those days compared to if we're just at home all day, or whether we go out for the day and stuff like that. It will vary, but that's part of, I'm guessing, having a child, you know, being the second child. You just have to fit your life around everything else. But he's doing well otherwise. He is a happy chappy. Blowing bubbles away. He smiled really quite quickly, I think quite early, just before he turned a month. He started to smile, and the health visitor and the doctor that he's had when he's had checks and stuff said how smiley and sociable he is and chatty. He talks, he coos, he almost sounds like he tries to laugh sometimes, which is really cute. He loves nappy changes, loves being naked, loves bath time. It kind of gets a bit like like to start with, and then settles down, loves it, starts kicking around like crazy. He's strong, so strong, just like his sister. He's a big one though. He's definitely bigger than Isla. Obviously he was born bigger. She was 7'5", he was £8, but he's continued to grow quickly as well. He is, when he was last weighed, he was £11 4, which is only like a couple of weeks ago, and he basically is following just above the 50th percentile for all of it, for his head, for his like length, and for his weight. So that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that, and like I said, I'm pretty happy that he's happy and healthy. And like, however much the feeding side of things does bug me, and I still wish I could breastfeed him, and I wish I'd been able to do it for longer, at least I know that he is okay basically, and he is happy, and like, you know, he's still getting fed at the end of the day, and that's the main thing. Like I said, he's a happy chappy for the most part, and Isla loves him and he loves Isla, always smiling at each other, and she's so sweet with him, always trying to help us with him as much as possible, loves having bath time with him and like washing him and stuff. Yeah, can't wait till he can do more and play with her. She's constantly going, can you play now? And I'm like, not quite, not yet. Postpartum wise for me, I suppose I lost quite most of the weight quite quickly. I do think though it's because I wasn't very well with the mastitis. I felt sick, and I wasn't eating very well at all, and I think I lost a lot of the weight because of that really. I am now 7'8", so I've lost most of the weight. I don't know quite how much it is. I was 7'3" before when I fell pregnant with him, so that's only like 4 or 5 pounds more, and I'm not bothered about that at all if I lose out or not. I still know that's a healthy weight. My belly's gone back down, but I still definitely left with more of a wrinkly and not very nice belly. My linea nigra line isn't gone, it's still there. I will show you guys, but I have to say I don't feel like it's a pretty sight, and I'm a lot more conscious of it this time than I was after Isla. Like, I felt like my belly did better at going back. I haven't been to see the physio, and my physio is probably going to kill me because I was supposed to see her like the first week he was born, but I just have not had chance. We've had so many appointments, and with Christmas, and then we had so many birthdays and other things going on, I literally have not had the chance. I just knew that if I'd ring it up to book it, I probably wouldn't be able to see her because the days that she works versus the days that I'm free just wouldn't have aligned. I am going to try and go back and see them because I don't know how my tummy's doing. I don't think it's doing too badly. I've tried to be careful and still stuck to what she had told me before to be careful with and whatnot, but I don't know. I don't really know how well I'm doing in that regards yet. I've struggled emotionally with coming to terms with not breastfeeding and other things going on. I have struggled a little bit, I think, with postpartum depression, but I don't think I think it's hugely circumstantial and it's hugely down to what's happened more than like just abnormal, you know, like overwhelming feelings of sadness for no reason sort of thing. Like there's been decent reasons, and I've talked to my health visitor and doctor and stuff about how I've been feeling and whatnot, and they've been really nice and helpful, and they're keeping an eye on me, making sure that I am okay, and they've just sort of helped to reassure me that, you know, I'm doing the best job I can and that he's happy and healthy, and they're not bothered about, obviously, like my health visitor was like, you know, you breastfed for quite a, you know, at least a good 6 weeks, so you've given him enough of, you know, like a good start at least. And she, I just felt like she understood, like she was very supportive in if I wanted to carry on, if I didn't. She understood that, you know, I was struggling with it and it was okay if I went on to formula. It's just, it is what it is at the end of the day. What's the other thing? He lost all his hair. He lost his hair like really quickly. And it's growing black on top. He's still got dark bits at the bottom, at the back, just like Isla did, but it's growing back slightly blonder on top. I think it's more, a little bit darker than Isla's. We'll see. Time will tell. So thank you guys for bearing with me. I will try my hardest to do more videos in the next couple of weeks. Obviously I wanted to do this one, but I've got a few others planned as well, so hopefully I'll get back into the swing of things and do more regular updates and more regular videos. A few more things that you guys want to see, let me know, and I'll try my hardest to do them. So this is my 1 month postpartum belly. As you can see, it's already got lines from my leggings, but yeah, you can see the line, and you can see it's all wrinkly still, and I've still got like a few stretch marks. I said I got more stretch marks, but yeah, I just can't believe this isn't, it's slowly fading. It is a little bit lighter, but it's still there. This side. This side, yeah, look, I got a few stretch marks even on the side here. Even just so that side, the other side hasn't got any, well, maybe 1 or 2. But yeah, that's my belly. It's still a bit jiggly, and this is the bit that I really need to tone it, but I need to make sure that I can do certain workout thing before I ruin my muscles anymore. I don't really like the look of my belly button anymore. Ugh. But hey, it is what it is. I've had babies.